just moments away from tip-off here inside the Bill E. Brock Eagle Dome to watch your Tallahassee Eagles take on Northwest Florida State. Second game in conference play today. Eagles were at Chipola during the week and fell to the Indians. Tonight taking on Northwest Florida. Tough competition entering the Eagle Dome. We'll step aside real quick for starting lineups, and then we'll be back for the start of the action here inside the Bill E. Brock Eagle Dome. You're watching TCC Eagle Basketball live on TCCEagles.com. And there were your starting lineups for both teams. Just moments away from tip-off, I'm Brett Rutherford, joined this afternoon by William Hayes, making his debut as a color analyst on TCCEagles.com. William, Eagles are coming off a tough game on the road at Chipola, but today a chance to bounce back at home, their first home conference game.
It's not often you get a chance to knock off the undisputed #1 team in the country, but the Eagles have a chance to do just that today.
Doing it at home inside the Eagle Dome. Here we go, Brianna Chambers in for the tip. And as Piper in there, wins the tip, but it's going to go the Eagles' way as Mayanna Garrett comes away with it. Here's Polina Nikolochkina. Over to Guthrie. That one stolen away by Northwest Florida. Here's Shelby Brown with the steal. Oh, Lonnie Cornfield loses it. That one tipped away by Polina. Cornfield inbounding. Yes, Northwest Florida State 16-0 to start the year. Pass into the corner. That's a three made by Masengo Matanda. And
good ball movement
Florida
there.
On the board first. William, you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Northwest Florida, #1 team in the country right now in NJCAA basketball. What makes them such a tough opponent?
Well, I think you see right here they're a complete team. They play good defense all across the board, and we've seen a few offensive possessions so far, a lot of ball movement. They find the open player, and they've already buried a three on that play.
Here's Mullity. Back to Garrett now. Polina with it, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Drives. Shot goes up. That one doesn't go for Polina, but an offensive rebound. Chambers, she's on the deck, and we're going to get I believe that'll be a jump ball. I haven't seen the signal. Up there it was from the official, so that one will head the other way. Eagles wearing their blue threads today. I think they've been mostly in white. It's a couple times broke out the pink threads. They were black on the road at Chipola, but I always like seeing the blue on blue. Northwest Florida moving right to left on your screen in all black. Here's Cornfield. She's averaging 5.5 points a game, and they're going to call a foul there on Mayanna Garrett, who stepped up to defend Cornfield. She also leads the team, Cornfield that is, 3.6 assists per game. She's going to look to distribute from the point here. She gets the inbounds.
Looks like TCC is pressing here, trying to keep them from driving the ball towards the basket.
And another foul called as they tried to prevent that penetration. That one could be called on Kira Mullity. That'll be her first, team's second foul. Inbounded to Cornfield. Now this one goes inside Shelby Brown. She puts the shot up. That one falls. Actually, that 3 shot earlier, that was actually a deep 2 mid-range bucket, so it'll be 4-0. Quickly into Chambers inside. She dribbles back out. Polina, she puts up the 3 off the glass, no good. Mullity can't come down with the rebound. Here come Northwest Florida moving the other way. Cornfield getting him set. Now over to Poa. Goes inside. Brown with it. Her shot doesn't go. Poa right there with the offensive rebound and the second chance bucket.
Poa has done such a good job of that for Northwest Florida.
Over to Mullity. 7.5 to go in the first quarter. Northwest Florida, and we're going to have a stoppage here. Whistle as Brianna Chambers, I think she's dealing with, might be a nosebleed, so she'll leave the floor. And we'll get a quick stoppage here. She'll be replaced by, that looks like Denisha Bowles re-entering, or Divine Guthrie entering. Denisha Bowles already on the start. Garrett comes in. Here's Garrett with it. Dishes to Polina now. Bowles. Got to put a shot up quick. And I believe we're going to get no buzzer, but a shot clock violation. Eagles, I think, coming after that stoppage, they didn't notice that there was little time remaining on the shot clock. And it's turnovers like that you really just can't afford in games like this.
It's been tough for them so far, TCC, to get just a real offensive set up. They've been trying to push the ball all across the court, but no open looks really so far.
Fixing something over at the scores table, about to get underway. And as Piper inbounding here for the Raiders. Cornfield goes into Piper. Hands off to Brown. Cuts inside. Shot goes up, and she hits it. Early 8-0 lead. Eagles yet to get on the board.
Desperately need a bucket here. Keep
Polina.
yourself in this thing early.
Raiders applying some pressure. Eagles, if they can break it, might have a chance for a bucket. And we're going to get a travel call there.
I believe the second time they've gone full court press against the Eagles, and I think it's worked pretty well both times.
Cornfield to Matunda. Now they work inside. Shelby Brown, Divine Guthrie playing defense there, but to no avail. A 10-0 run to start the game, and we're going to get a timeout on the floor from the TCC bench. The Eagles find themselves with a double-digit deficit to work through here. 6:27 to play in the first quarter. You're watching TCC Eagle basketball live on tcceagles.com. Coming out of that full timeout, Eagles trailing by 10, and really they just haven't been able to get off any good shots as of yet.
TCC has not been able to find shots, and on the defensive end, they've been contesting shots, getting hand up in the face, but they've just, Northwest Florida, they've just been sinking their shots.
Yeah, I'll give credit to Northwest Florida there. Polina pulls up. That'll be a deep 2, short. Rebounded by Brown. Yeah, I agree. I think they're playing solid defense. It's just a matter of Northwest Florida knocking their shots down, so we'll give credit to them and hope Eagles can get some shots to fall sooner rather than later. Poa drives inside, dishes cross court to Matunda. Now she drives, poked away by Polina, and it's going to go the other way. They say it went off of Masengo Matunda.
Great job just to cause some disruption, break up that play.
Now they're going to reverse the call. The other official says it went off of an Eagle. They're going to say it went off of Denisha Bowles. So this one will stay on this side of the floor. Cornfield into the corner. Matunda was all alone. Drives the baseline. Now looks for an outlet. Finds Shelby Brown over to Poa. 3. It's good.
And as we mentioned, that's something Poa does so well. TCC with a well-played double team to stuff the ball, but again, Northwest Florida able to find the open player.
Polina with it. 5.5 to go in the first quarter. 13-0 Raider lead. Handoff to Polina. Now, I don't think I've called a home game yet this season. There's a mid-range jumper knocked down by Mayanna Garrett. Smooth shot there. But Northwest Florida wasting no time. Poa with it now. They go all the way up the floor. Now into the corner, Matunda. Bowles playing defense there now. Over to Piper. They're going to reset here with Cornfield. And a foul called on Polina. And what I was trying to say just a little bit ago, I don't think there's been a home game this season with both Anna and Polina healthy and on the floor. I've called Anna a lot this season. She had that huge buzzer beater back in the fall, and now she's out hurt. And Eagles are working with a very small rotation here. Coach Joe Cohen dealing with a lot of injury issues.
And the Raiders so far have been running us up and down the court, so if you're a little bit short on substitutions and you're down by a deficit like this, it's going to be tough to catch up.
And also 3 fouls assessed to the team already. Got to watch, make sure you don't get any foul trouble. That's a hindrance for this Eagle team, especially when they're going to have to try to play physical defense against this big and fast Northwest Florida team. They're going to call another foul there on Polina. That'll be her second, I believe. Well, they're giving it her first foul, so. Eagles trailing 13-2. That shot goes up and in.
Cornfield leads this team in assists, and that was a nice dish off the inbound right there.
Right inside to Piper. And with Chambers, who's still not returned to the bench, with Chambers out, she's going to be a huge interior defender today for the Eagles, but they got to get her back out on the floor. Polina drives inside, finds a lot of space and scores.
Nice to find the lane there and just shoot right down. Get a quick bucket.
Pass it out inside Brown. Floater goes in. That's Shelby Brown averaging 10.3 points per game. It started in all but one game that she's appeared in for the Raiders. Garrett, another mid-range jumper, rolls out.
Looks like that's been a big part of the offensive strategy so far for the Eagles. Just take those mid-range jumpers.
Pass inside. Shelby Brown stolen away from Polina. We're going to get a jump ball called, so it will be Eagle basketball. Doubleheader of action for you today later on. TCC men's basketball also taking on Northwest Florida, looking for their first conference win. Polina over to Garrett. Now into the corner. Sadasia Payne pulls up from mid-range. That shot can't go. Rebounded and headed the other way. Here comes Masengo Matunda into the corner. That's Zanaya Thomas. Now Navia Brown over to Poa. Comes off the screen. Now here's Piper driving the baseline. There's some contact there, no foul called. Rebounded by the Eagles. Some good defense there. Bowles over to Garrett. Cuts to her left, now picks up her dribble, goes right back to Bowles. Heaves up the three, doesn't go. Rebounded inside and scored.
Way to crash on the offensive glass. Some second chance points there.
That was Nia Bostic, who I think we've seen in her second year with the Eagles really grow as a player. She was a huge defensive presence, I thought, last year. This year, stepping up her scoring as well. That shot blocked by Sadasia Payne. And the pass comes in hard. Now it's lost again.
First real fast break opportunity for this offense, and they turn it over.
So Asia Payne was moving in the fast break, but that didn't turn around quick enough for the shot. That pass goes inside to Poa. She looks for another pass inside. Piper with a move, and she's fouled going up. You know what? I don't think that's necessarily the worst foul to be called there. First trip for either team to the free throw line. Can force Piper, who shoots free throws. I mean, she's pretty rock solid, 79.2% from the free throw line. But she's been money in the paint, so to make her work for those points, I think not the worst decision from the Eagles.
Piper this season is shooting 79.2% from the free throw line. Pretty efficient so far.
First free throw is short, however. Piper coming off a season in which she was second team All Panhandle Conference. And the sophomore from Paris was also a member of the U16 national team in France. I'll give credit to the research department, made up completely by William Haynes, sitting to my right. So thank you for all the great research providing on the Northwest Florida team as we try to get into conference play. The Eagles will see them 2 more times this season. Polina advancing the ball. Garrett goes right back to Polina, but right into the hands of Nalani Cornfield. Now, inside pass and score from Sabu Gay.
Passing the width of the court, not putting a lot of mustard on it. That's a good combination for a turnover.
Divine Guthrie now getting the double team. She finds the outlet there. The shot goes up, no good. Another offensive rebound. That shot doesn't go, and finally rebounded by Northwest Florida. That was Denisha Bowles with the shot attempt. A minute and a half to go in the first period of play. Pass to Piper, now goes out to Cornfield. Cornfield drives, there is Brown. That shot goes for Nevaeh Brown.
Cornfield, we mentioned, she's an assist master, and that was another great dish right there.
Polina over to Bowles. Northwest Florida still providing all the pressure. Divine Guthrie with it now on Piper, steps back, that shot blocked. Cornfield moving the other. Here's Piper. Now back to Cornfield. Piper is going to take her shot with a 3 and hit it. And as Piper, and we're going to get another timeout on the floor. Eagles trailing 25-6, less than a minute to play in the first quarter. You're watching TCC Basketball live on tcceagles.com and YouTube.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges, eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
Coming out of the break, Eagles trailing 25-6 now. Still in the first quarter, though. A lot of basketball left to play. They try to work through that Northwest Florida pressure. Now here's Divine Guthrie with it. And she's fouled. That'll be the first foul of the quarter for the Raiders.
Over 9 minutes without committing a foul, and they played pretty good defense too.
You know, I think part of that, maybe the Eagles should expect some regression on that in the second quarter. They were taking shots. They just weren't getting open. Maybe could have been another foul or two called throughout the quarter. Could have sent them to the free throw line, picked up a couple of points here and there. Now they find themselves down 19. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 30 seconds left on the game clock in the corner. Polina's got it. She's going to keep it. She does keep it. Puts the shot up. She's fouled. There you go. And she will head to the free throw line. First trip to the line for a member of the Eagles. And Polina was pretty reliable last season from the line.
You could tell in that possession they were definitely trying to get an open look from beyond the arc. There wasn't one, so Polina just drives down the lane and draws a foul.
Yeah, that shot clock was going down. If there was another shot clock violation, I think Coach Joe Cohen would have had every right to be upset with another turnover, but there you go. Make it 25-8 now after a couple of made free throws from Polina Nikolochkina. 15 seconds left in the first quarter, and we're going to get, I believe, a foul called against Northwest Florida. No, it'll be against the Eagles, and that'll send Aja Innes to the free throw line. They're going to say an off-ball personal foul, I believe called on Nia Bostic, yes. Her first, team 6, though, so that does put the Raiders in the bonus. First free throw good for Innes. She's 84.6% from the line, averaging 6.7 points per game. She's a Division I bounce back coming to Northwest Florida by way of North Carolina A&T. Appeared in 13 games for NCAA last year. Hits the second free throw. And there is Brianna Chambers. She is back in.
Good to see after leaving the game early. They're getting hit in the face.
Yeah, hit in the face. I don't know if it drew blood, but she went back into the locker room for a bit, but she's back on the floor. And also, she's got some family in attendance all the way from Korea, Australia. Made the trip over around the Christmas holiday and have stuck around in Tallahassee to watch Chambers playing a few games. Now, pass goes right back into Garrett. Tipped out of play. Will be 7 seconds left. And we talk about third-year players on this team, both Anna and Polina Nikolochkina, Brianna Chambers, Olivia Eller. And there's a foul called as Polina heads to the deck. And I think the ball, probably with 7 seconds left, going to find its way into the hands of Polina here. You go right to her. She's got it underneath the basket. Now has to find an outlet. Only 2 seconds left. Garrett's going to have to heave up the three. Comes off the glass and then the rim, but no good. And ultimately we'll head into the second quarter with Northwest Florida leading 27-8. Eagles struggling to put it together offensively. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching TCC Eagle Basketball live on tcceagles.com.
We welcome you back inside the Eagle Dome. The Eagles trailing by 19 points at the start of the second quarter. I think overall, not a terrible job. They've played good defense, physical. Some fouls called on them early, quite a bit, in fact. And then on the offensive end, some ball movement, more turnovers than you'd like. I think one thing they could focus on, driving to the basket more and try and get to the free throw line a little bit more, something we mentioned. Only 2 fouls for the Raiders in the first quarter. You got to think maybe that number would be a little bit higher here in the second period.
Yeah, ultimately you're right. I don't think they've played that poorly. I think the shots are falling for Northwest Florida. Maybe you got to be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe it's okay if you rack up the fouls. That three is good. They picked up right where they left off. That's Aja Innes.
And that's certainly one thing you can't afford. You know, if you're giving up contested 2-point, mid-range shots, that's one thing. But if you're allowing them to get hot from open shots beyond the arc, it's going to be a really hard time getting back into this game.
That shot goes in for Denisha Bowles. And maybe one of the best ways to generate offense. We saw Polina get to the free throw line late in the first quarter. That was the first trip for the Eagles. Driving inside, trying to draw those fouls. And to Northwest Florida's credit, they didn't commit any fouls in that first quarter. That shot no good, but an offensive rebound. You can't let the second chance points happen. But a great contested shot, and now it's still a fight for it on the floor and a jump ball. And while you applaud the defense there, I think The Eagles got to come away with that rebound somehow and move in transition. They come away with the basketball, but now Northwest Florida can apply some pressure, and the Eagles have had a hard time breaking it. They've been able to advance the ball into the half court, but not really be able to get set in their offense. Here's Bowles with it now. Pass over to Garrett. Now here's Polina. Swings it into the corner. Mullity, 4-3, off the side of the glass. Rebounded by, no, it's not Poa. That's Nashani Gilbert. Here is Poa with it. Goes back to Gilbert. Now Innes with it. Gay, guarded by Bowles. Goes back out to Poa. Into the corner. Here's Gilbert. Mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded and put in by Sabu Gay.
Those second chance points you were talking about.
That pass tipped, goes right back into the arms.
Last couple of possessions, a lot of passes the width of the court, trying to spread this defense out. They got an open shot last time.
Bowles uses her physicality, drives in, gets the shot to fall.
The strategy appears to be working pretty well to start the second quarter.
Well, if they're going to commit to the pressure there and the foul called on Garrett, if they're going to commit to the pressure, you got to kind of try to blow past them, get to the rim, either draw those fouls or put those shots up, and they're falling early for them in the second quarter. Now, to try to cut into this deficit, you're going to need to see that type of effort on both ends.
Chambers back in the game. Hopefully that can make their defense a little more stout there in the key.
Piper with the missed three, but it goes right back to her. Now here's Gilbert with it. She drives in on Chambers, and she's fouled. And a foul called against Gilbert. That'll be Chambers called for the foul. She went back to the locker room real briefly. She's back out there again, got her nose plugged, so hopefully everything taken care of there. Northwest Florida already 2-0 in conference. They have wins at Gulf Coast State and at home against Chipola. Saw that Chipola team beat the Eagles on Tuesday night, then went on the road over to Niceville and fell 69-49 to the Raiders. Poa hits the first free throw. Another Australian on the floor. The sophomore out of Melbourne, joining Brianna Chambers from Kareem. Here's Garrett with it now. Over to Polina.
Northwest Florida continues to press. TCC continues to pass the width of the floor.
And we're going to get a foul called on Matunda. Her second. No, her first. Chambers sitting on 2 fouls. Garrett inbounds. Polina, she had a little bit of space, not enough to take the shot. 7.5 minutes to play in this first half. Chambers sets the ball screen. Now she rolls off. Now dishes to the corner. Miana Garrett, 4-3. Little too much on it. Rebounded by Piper.
Well executed set there.
Polina with a great steal. Took that one out of thin air now. Inside. Divine Guthrie's shot goes up and in. And a great move started by that Polina steal.
Way to cash in on that fast break. Really the first time this game they've been able to do that.
Yeah, Piper tried to heave it up the floor. Polina grabbed it out of the air and got rid of it quick. And Eagles were able to score off of that turnover. Now here's Poa with it. Over to Matunda. Right back to Poa, who takes her chance with the three off back iron. And is rebounded by Polina.
Looks like they're going to ISO here with Polina. Can she take it herself?
Inside, Shanasia Payne with it. Dishes out to Chambers. Deep two from Brianna Chambers. Hits it. If she can get a rhythm there, catch and shoot, that might be a dangerous piece for this Eagle offense. Piper at the top now. Over to Ennis, now into the corner. Rotunda with it. Lose it, but oh, they're going to say she's fouled. Divine Guthrie called for the foul there.
Second quarter in a row, the fouls are piling up for the Eagles.
Now that one I was less sure about. You know, it looked like she went in and poked at the ball, but reached too far. She's frustrated. Her second, team's fourth with under 6 to play in the half. Poa, freeze whistle. There's another whistle for another foul. And now Nevaeh Brown. That'll be Zanaya Thomas, rather, under the basket. Yeah, I thought that's where we should have been headed, and headed to the free throw line as Northwest Florida enters the bonus. They had him set for an inbound, but here's last year Poa. Hits the first shot.
As predicted, Poa getting a lot of buckets here early.
And goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Maya Garrett here to inbound it. Bowles trapped here. Can she get rid of it? She does. Sanasia Payne with it. Takes the shot herself, rolls off the rim. 5.5 to play. 36-16 Northwest Florida leads. Here's Poa. Pass goes back to Zanaya Thomas. Poa drives, scores. Passes out. Here's Bowles. Cross court to Sanasia Payne. And a foul called on Shelby Brown. Again, over halfway through the quarter, and the first foul called against Northwest Florida. We're going to get a timeout on the floor, however. Under 5 to play in the first half of basketball here inside the Bill E. Brock Eagle Dome. Northwest Florida leading 38-16. You're watching TCC basketball on tcceagles.com. Coming out of the media timeout, Eagles, big deficit. Trailing by 22, that inbound goes right in the hands of Poa. And here come the Raiders, moving in transition. Shelby Brown, shot goes up and in.
could have maybe fouled there, but not much contest on that fast break opportunity for Northwest Florida.
And a blocking foul called against Zanaya Thomas. Or Nevaeh Brown, rather. And it'll be Garrett to inbound. Goes all the way back to Sanasia Payne. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Inside, Bowles tries to turn, goes right back to Garrett. Cuts to her left, now dishes to Payne. Now here's Chambers, catch and shoot. Another high arcing shot. No good, rebounded Piper. Now here's Cornfield. She's fouled. Nia Bostic getting in the way there and whistled.
Cornfield this season, just 57.9% from the free throw line, so not extremely efficient, especially not for a point guard like her.
She hits that first free throw.
And just as I say that, she ends up sinking both of them.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you look at the three-point percentage, and definitely not shabby at all. It's one of the highest, if not the highest on this team, and struggles at the free throw line. Now here's Bostic. Cuts inside, pulls up for the shot. Air ball, rebounded. Piper falls right into the hands of Piper. Shelby Brown has it at the top. That one poked away. Sanasia Payne. She falls on it. Can she find an outlet? It'll be a jump ball. Cornfield going to get set to inbounds. A couple changes as Divine Guthrie and Polina Nicolochkina re-enter the game for the Eagles. Cornfield. Dishes out to Poa. Takes the deep three. No good, and rebounded by Guthrie.
Chance to close out the half here strong. If we can get a couple of buckets here on the board.
Garrett comes off the screen but loses the dribble.
Got to get out of the trap there.
Now
nice job.
Chambers. Now Chambers gets it the hands right back off to Polina.
Another pick and roll with Chambers. Had an open shot to her in the key last time they ran it.
She's got to put up a last-ditch three and can't get it. I think the Eagles' ball movement wasn't bad, but you've got to keep in mind how much time is left. Had to get something going a little bit earlier if they wanted a chance to score.
Northwest Florida jarring that ball loose certainly discombobulated things a little bit there on that possession. Even if you're not able to completely force the turnover, you can get your opponent out of sorts, and just like that possession, they ran out of time.
We'll see Aicha Endure check in for the first time. She is the 6'6" freshman out of Senegal. A D1 bounce back from Rutgers, so not only a D1 bounce back, a Power 5 school, Rutgers out of the Big Ten. Cornfield tries to find Endure and can't connect on that pass, so the ball will head the other way. Sanasia Payne trapped again. Gets out of it. Over to Garrett. Now Polina inside. Denisha Bowles. Blocked by Endure. Now on her knees. Looked like she moved her knees a little bit there. Maybe a travel could have been called. Cornfield. Now here's Brown. Shot goes inside. Endure.
You saw on both ends of the floor there, Nodor's a mismatch. Trying to go up against her in the paint, a shot blocked, and you get it to her in the paint on the offensive end, and it's hard to defend.
And she enters right as Brianna Chambers leaves the court, so maybe they'll need to get her back in there. Polina, the great move, then pulls up, goes off back iron. Sanasia Payne fighting for it. Can't come away, and then gets knocked to the ground by Ennis. Now Cornfield. Pass inside. Piper. Shot no good. Rebounded again by Piper. Dribbles out. Fresh 20 for the Raiders. Cornfield would try to go to Nevaeh Brown instead. Will go inside to Indoor. That shot rattles out.
Only 4.3 minutes a game for Nador, but like I said, such a mismatch. Wonder why
Polina,
play her a little more.
Shot falls and she goes down hard. No whistle. But another bucket for Polina Nikolochkina. Now here's Piper with it. And Sadasia Payne comes in hard, gets called for the foul. That'll send Inez Piper to the free throw line. Shooting 2, over a minute to play. Piper hits the first.
Piper, a key part of this Northwest Florida team that won it all a year ago. She's been in the game quite a bit so far here this afternoon.
Yeah, an absolutely incredible program they have over in Niceville. 24-2 last year. En route to a national championship. It shows, though, in this conference, both in the men's and women's side, a travel called there, that the top teams in this conference, if you're looking at who's the cream of the crop, every year, not only are they the cream of the crop in the Panhandle Conference, they're the cream of the crop in the country. When we go over to the other side of the floor, you'll see that white banner hanging above the backboard, 2018 National Championship for the Eagles.
The last 6 national championships in the NJCAA Division I have come from the Panhandle Conference. 6 in a row.
It is absolutely incredible, and I think a lot of people would argue that there's teams in this league that could compete at any level of college basketball, including the Division I level. You look at the amount of talent that comes through the Panhandle. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half, about 3.5 seconds separating shot and game clock. Bostic over to Guthrie. Now they're working inside to Mullity. Looking for an outlet, finds Guthrie. Bostic puts up the 3. Hits it, Nia Bostic. That pass poked away by Guthrie and a foul called. That's a tough one to go against Guthrie. Looked like she cleanly tipped that pass away, but a late foul call will send Indoor to the free throw line.
The last thing you want to do with 3 seconds left in the quarter is give them a chance at free throws.
And that one's good for Indoor. Yeah, with Guthrie there, though, it looks like she got in there cleanly and the whistle was blown. I won't harp on her too much for that one. The Eagles trailing 46-21. They'll have one more possession if they get the ball after this free throw. They do not. Got to put a shot up from the corner. Doesn't go for Aja Ennis, and it'll be a 46-21 lead that Northwest Florida takes into the break. Polina Nikolochkina, a bright spot for the Eagles, but a lot they need to work on going into the second half.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing that TCC can do, and you may argue some of it is luck, but just sink some of those shots. They've been able to get some good opportunities on the offensive end, but, clanging off the rim or off the backboard, sink a couple more of those shots. You're still in this game. Just a relative deficit. So that to me, that's the biggest thing they can do, is just sink some of those easy shots that they've been able to create.
Yeah, we'll be back for the start of the second half. Once again, you're watching TCC Eagle Basketball live on tcceagles.com and YouTube. And we're back here at the start of the second half in this Panhandle Conference matchup between TCC and Northwest Florida State. Eagles struggling against the reigning national champions, who are looking for their 17th straight victory to open the season. A win here would bring the Raiders to 3-0 in conference play. 46-21 they lead, but the Eagles will start with the ball. Here's Polina Nicolochkina, joined on the floor by Divine Guthrie, Mayanna Garrett, Denisha Bowles, and Brianna Chambers. Polina comes off the head-off. They're going to say an offensive foul. That's Denisha Bowles, so already an early foul call against TCC.
Not the start that you want, turning the ball over like that on an off-ball foul, first possession.
Cornfield over to Piper. Now here's Poa with it. Cornfield over to Poa. Goes over to Shelby Brown. Now drives the baseline against Chambers. Gathers herself, but dishes back to Poa for three. Bowles. Now Polina Nicolochkina with it. Mayanna Garrett. Goes over to Polina. That shot no good. Rebounded by Northwest Florida.
Got her a look for an open three. Couldn't cash in.
Cornfield pulls up. That shot no good. Garrett over to Polina now inside the chamber. She puts up a shot off the glass. Second chance doesn't go for Divine Guthrie. Here's Poa over to Piper. Now Shelby Brown with it inside, and she's fouled. Well, actually, it'll be a jump ball. They're going to say he went up for it. Okay, so good defense there from the Eagles. Now Cornfield inbounding, goes to Brown inside. Shot goes up and rolls in. I mean, I don't know what more the Eagles could have done to defend that there.
They did a good job rolling Chambers over there to defend the paint. And yeah, she got her hands up. That's been the story of the day for the Eagles. Hands up defense, good most of the game. Just a lot of contested shots made by Northwest Florida.
Chambers, hand off to Garrett. Now Guthrie, bounce pass over to Bowles. Backs herself up, looking for Polina, finds her. Polina, great move, puts the shot up and in. Polina Nicolochkina. And maybe the lone bright spot for the Eagles on offense, gets another bucket there.
Some playmaking, a nice ball fake there to get an open look.
Poa, Piper all alone for three, instead drives inside. That one doesn't go, and Bowles is going to go out of play, and it went last off of Piper, so Eagles will get the ball. Polina over to Garrett. Now right back to Polina. Divine Guthrie fouled.
Nice job there, drawing the foul. By a long shot, the earliest Northwest Florida has committed a foul in a quarter.
Yeah. They've done well limiting fouls, limiting Eagles' trips to the line. And first free throw good from Guthrie. And she goes 2 for 2 from the line. And that one poked away. Polina. Eagles get it right back. Here's Bowles. Back to Garrett. And a double dribble called there on Mayanna Garrett. Just a lapse in concentration. But in this type of game, you really can't afford to have those, especially coming off a big steal there to give yourself an extra possession. Matunda inside, Shelby Brown. She's fouled. Again, another one called on Garrett. That'll be the Eagles' third foul. Garrett's third. Eagles' second foul, rather. Third foul for Garrett. Brown shot. First free throw attempts. Converts. There we go. It'll make it 52-25. And the second one rolls off. Rebounded by Denisha Bowles. Bowles to Polina. Now Polina over to Divine Guthrie.
Trying to set up the pick and roll there for Chambers, it looked like. Instead
Chambers gets some contact, but dishes to Polina now into the corner. Garrett goes right back to Chambers. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Chambers sets that screen. 3 seconds for Polina Nicolochina. That one.
Wow, the floater.
Falls for Polina. What composure there from the third-year player. Brown back out to Cornfield. Shot. Hits. That was Masengo Matunda. Now a trap. They've got Bowles, and Matunda comes away with it. Dishes to Cornfield. Right back to Matunda. That one bounces out, but an offensive rebound. Now Polina comes in and takes it away.
Polina's been everywhere so far for the Eagles today.
Garrett goes back to Guthrie. Inside, Chambers. Does she have the space? She's fouled.
I think the defender was holding back one of her arms.
Yeah, I'm shocked it took as long as it did for that foul to be called. Garrett inbounding, goes to Payne. Sadasia Payne. And we're going to get a travel called and another unnecessary turnover from the Eagles.
Yeah, like you mentioned before with that similar violation with the double dribble, just a little bit of a lapse, perhaps in concentration.
That pass poked away by Chambers, but it goes right back to Piper. Now Cornfield taking it in. That shot is blocked. Now Matunda dishes out to Piper. Deep mid-range shot, no good. Eagles still fighting for the rebound. Garrett thought she could have thrown it over her shoulder, but she was out of bounds already. They'll get reset here for another inbound. Piper, shot, rolls off the front of the rim and rebounded by Guthrie. Talk about how the Raiders on the women's side ranked #1 in the country. On the men's side, we'll see them just coming up within the hour after this one. They are sitting at #4 in the country after a 16-1 start to the season and a 30-point thrashing of the Chipola Indians on Thursday night.
The #6 team in the country, Chipola.
Yeah, a top 10 matchup, and you walk away with a 30-point win and an offensive foul called on Divine Guthrie. And like I said, on both sides of this conference, usually it's the top 2 teams. They are going to be competing not only for Panhandle Conference championships, not only state championships, they're going to be competing for a national championship. It always works out that way in this conference. The toughest league, in my opinion, in the country for junior college basketball. Here's Brown. That one poked away by Polina. And now Sadasia Payne comes away with it. Under 4 to play in the third quarter. Shot rolls out and rebounded by Piper.
I like to see TCC just pop those threes like that. It was in and out, but give yourself a chance there for some quick points.
Cornfield pulls up mid-range jumper and knocks it down. And yeah, you look at the women's side. Number 1, Northwest Florida State. Number 2, Chipola. Well, it feels like Polina gets that inside the Chambers. Now she finds Garrett, puts up the three, a laser three, no good. Rebounded, but lost. Nope, still fighting for it was Sanasia Payne. Cornfield comes away with it. That pass can't get it to Masengo Matunda.
Rare mistake there by Cornfield. I mean, an absolute clinic she's put on today for, a point guard ball distribution, but pass was a little bit short. Turned it over.
Yeah. It feels tough when you look around this league, and every other team in the Panhandle is ranked right now. You look at Chipola at 6. You've got Pensacola State at 16. Gulf Coast State at 19. The Eagles were right there just a couple years ago. It's not that crazy to think they can get back up there. You just need to keep building, keep working, and find the right formula. Denisha Bowles with it. Nia Bostic, that shot is blocked by Lestier Poa. Kara Mullity back in the game. Polina, that shot goes off the side of the glass. Maybe some contact there, not enough to warrant a foul. But then comes away and pokes another one away from Cornfield. She kept the dribble, but good effort on both ends from Polina. Pass inside, and Dora can't hold on to it, and Mullity with the steal. Mullity takes a three on the other end, doesn't go. And a foul called on Denisha Bowles. Over the back foul there. Looking like she was just going for the rebound, but enough contact to draw the whistle. Polina with it. Three-point attempt from downtown. Polina Negalochkina.
As if there was any doubt.
Cornfield. Gilbert inside. Cornfield now finds Endor. She scores. Pass goes over to Guthrie. Now here's Nia Bostic. And a foul called against Northwest Florida now. And here's Guthrie inbounding from underneath. Now Polina with it. A minute and a half to play in the third quarter. Eagles trailing 59-30. 14 on the shot clock. Polina with it now. Tries to work it inside. Denisha Bowles has to pass it just to keep it in from the baseline, and stolen away by Northwest Florida. That pass tried to go all the way up the floor, poked away and taken back right by the Eagles. Denisha Bowles for three. It's good.
Nice to see the Eagles start sinking some of those shots.
Cheyenne Holloman on the ball now. It's her first appearance today for Northwest Florida State. Inside, Gilbert dishes to Poa from the wing, and she hits a three right back.
It's like no matter what you decide to do, you can't win. They double team there in the paint. Northwest Florida able to find the open three in the corner. No matter what you choose to defend, it seems like they're going to find something else to abuse there on the defensive end.
Bostic over to Guthrie. Now worked inside. That one poked away. Mullity inside. There's Denisha Bowles again. Less than 30 in the quarter. Shot clock disappears. That one no good, but indoor puts it right back up. 5 seconds, Polina with it. Not much time left here. A deep three and off the top of the glass, no good. We'll head to the final quarter of play here. Eagles trailing 64-35. We'll step aside. You're watching TCC Basketball live on tcceagles.com.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
Entering the fourth quarter here, Northwest Florida leading by 29. Guthrie, now Bostic with it. That pass tried to go in, and that one gets away. And it will head the other way.
Same story as the third quarter, opening up the first possession with a turnover.
Holloman inside to indoor. That one stolen away. Here comes Mariana Garrett with it. Looks around, keeps it herself. Now inside to Mullity. Back to Denisha Bowles. Now here's Polina. Nicola Chikino with it. Now over to Guthrie. Cross court, back to Garrett. 15 on the shot clock. Garrett puts up the three. Doesn't find anything. Still loose. Picked up by Thomas. Now over to Holloman. Mid-range jumper, hits it. Now Mullity. Guthrie, now Polina from way downtown, doesn't go.
Nice heads-up play there by Garrett.
We'll see Gilbert inbound here. To Thomas. 8.5 to play. Here's Poa. Holloman, her first bucket of the afternoon. Polina. Over to Garrett. Lead now stretched to 33. Garrett drives inside, pulls up. Shot doesn't go. And a foul called, this one against Denisha Bowles. We'll see Sadeja Payne check back in. Eagles will play Northwest Florida State again in Niceville on Wednesday, January 26th. And then one more time back here in the Eagle Dome on Saturday, February 12th. Thomas hits the free throw. After today's contest, the Eagles will take their court again next Wednesday on the road at Pensacola State, both men's and women's. That'll be a 6:30 Eastern tip. 5:30 local time in Pensacola. Here is Bowles' shot, doesn't go. Thomas bringing it the other way. Marissa Gassaway, her first shot attempt, and she is fouled. The 6'1 freshman out of Louisville, Kentucky. After that, the Eagles will return home next weekend, taking on Gulf Coast State. Back here inside the Eagle Dome for a 3 o'clock tip on a Saturday afternoon. Gassaway misses her first free throw attempt. And hits the second. 71-35. Garrett, three-point attempt, can't hit it. Here's Thomas now, over to Gilbert. And a foul called against Myanna Garrett. This will send Aja Innes to the free throw line, shooting 84.6% from the line so far this year.
Looks like Northwest Florida gone mostly to their reserves at this point. A lot of players on the court, don't get too much time on a game-to-game basis. They're certainly getting some reps in here this afternoon.
It's rare to be able to get these valuable minutes for players deep in your rotation in conference play, and I think the Eagles would be going deeper into their rotation if they had it today. Really just 8 players in the rotation. You see Chambers, Payne, and Mullity on the bench. There's a lot of Eagles still in their warm-ups that are unavailable to go today. Guthrie shot, doesn't go for her.
Yeah, the players that have been able to play for TCC, got to say a lot of grit. They've definitely hung in there against a team that, I mean, in 16 tries, no team has been able to beat them this year in Northwest Florida, I should say.
I think for the Eagles, there's been stretches of this game where you found things that have worked. Brianna Chambers hitting some shots. She's showing off her range. Obviously, we know we're getting out of Polina Nikolochkina. But even Denisha Bowles stepping up, hitting a 3 earlier. Finding ways to score, because you go on the road on Wednesday night, you're facing another ranked team. As long as all 4 of these teams stay ranked, you're going to be playing a ranked opponent every time out there. The competition, although Northwest Florida State is number 1, it's not easy games left on there's no easy games left on the schedule. Here's Holloman the other way. Offensive rebound now. Innes with it. Now here's Thomas. Inside Holloman, and she is fouled. First free throw good for Holloman.
A 50% free throw shooter. He's got one to go so far.
And she goes 2 for 2 from the line. Bostic over to Polina. 2 seconds left, stolen away. All alone is Aja Innes. Bostic was there to defend, but here's Nasani Gilbert in a block. Coming in from behind, another block, and this one she'll get whistled for the foul. Mayana Garrett.
There is no ounce of quit in that player. She has been on it.
And yeah, you can't blame her. She gets the block, and it goes right back into the hands of a Northwest Florida player, and she goes right back up for another block. That is her 5th foul, so her afternoon is over with 5 minutes to go. First free throw good by Nashani Gilbert, sophomore out of Jupiter, Florida.
I think overall the Raiders have had a tremendous day from the free throw line. It seems like every time they're going up to the line, they're going 2 for 2.
5 minutes to play. Raiders lead 79-35. Looking for their 17th straight victory to start the season. Here's Denine Guthrie. Now over into the corner, Denisha Bowles, another 3-point attempt. This one doesn't go for Bowles. Door with it. And inside, and that bucket is good for Marissa Gossaway. If you go back to last season, they haven't lost a game since Friday, April 9th, 2021.
The head coach for the Raiders, Bart Walker, in his career at Northwest Florida, 362 and 95 going into this afternoon's game. Not a whole lot of losses for that program.
Yeah, Sedasia Payne with the bucket there. Their last loss was in that state tournament against Gulf Coast State, who we know is another formidable opponent. Then went into the women's national tournament in Lubbock, Texas, and took down Otero Junior College, South Plain College, Three Rivers Community College, and in that national championship, powerhouse Trinity Valley. They win 67-60. We'll have a timeout on the floor with under 5 minutes to play in this game. Eagles trailing 81-37. You're watching TCC basketball live on tcceagles.com. with 3:48 to play. We're coming back out of that media timeout. Thomas at the free throw line, hits it. 82-37 the lead's at now. And another bucket there from Thomas.
80% free throw shooter sinks both.
Payne shot and she's fouled. Thought that one was going to fall. Give her a chance for a three-point play, but she'll head to the line shooting two.
I know this will make you chuckle. First foul of the quarter for Northwest
And
Florida.
there you go. I mean, that's part of their game. They're going to limit scoring chances for the other team as much as they can, and they're doing it here inside the Eagle Dome. Payne hits the second. And another bucket there for Aja Innes. Foul called on Holloman. It'll be Bostic inbounding here. Goes up to Polina. Now over to Kira Mulledy. Polina gets it. Mulledy moving there. Gets her in motion now. Tries to go inside of Bowles, but poked away and stolen. 2.5 to play. Raiders wasted no time. Holloman's shot doesn't go. Going to go off the fingertips of Endor, and Eagles will get the basketball. Bostic, Mulledy. Here's Polina. And she's fouled. .204, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Polina. Inside to Mulledy. Has to pick it up. Go back out to Tanisha Bowles. Now Mulledy deep two. Not enough on it. Sanasia Payne gets it. She's fouled. Now the fouls are racking up for Northwest Florida State, but I think too little too late here.
A lot of chances to run this inbound play, that's for sure.
Bostic with it now into the baseline. Goes back to Bowles. And now Polina with it. Now Mulledy. Inside, Sanasia Payne. Great pass. And Payne gets tripped. Denisha Bowles for three. Hits the right side of the iron. Now here comes Polina. Nicolochkina with it. For three. Polina Nicolochkina. Under a minute to play now. Indoor, try to go inside there. That was Marissa Gassaway. Instead, will turn the ball over.
Chambers is going to check back in for the final minute of the contest. You mentioned about 3 or 4 players for TCC have really been good contributors and certainly shown some flashes of what this team can be. Chambers is one of them.
Foul called there.
I think regardless of the outcome, too, any coach will tell you this, to have the ability to have in your house the undisputed #1 team in the country, and certainly you would elect to be at full strength, but to test your players against their players and see where you stack up, see what you can do better. A lot of room for growth and some opportunities learned, hopefully.
Definitely. Chambers' first free throw is good.
You mentioned it. This Panhandle Conference, it's the cream of the crop. You definitely know where you're at going against these type of teams in conference play.
Chambers hits the second and 45 seconds to play in this contest. Thomas inbounding from underneath, inside to indoor. Now, that shot no good. Shot clock disappears, and this could very well be the last possession of the afternoon for this one. Here we go. Denisha Bowles finds Mullity. Now Mullity cuts inside. Her shot goes up. I don't know if that was tipped, but it goes right into the hands of Gassaway. And Northwest Florida will dribble this one out and seal an 85-43 victory. Their 17th of the season, as they are 3-0 in first place in the Panhandle Conference. Eagles move to 0-2 in conference play. And William, it was tough. I think they hung in there for a little bit in the first quarter, but ultimately Northwest Florida shooting in such a high volume that they're knocked out enough to build that lead and ultimately win extremely comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, watching the two offenses go, it's not like the kind of opportunities they were getting were drastically different. It's just that Northwest Florida was hitting a lot of contested shots and TCC wasn't, and we also struggled at times with some open looks. But like you said, a lot of good to see the fight early, stick around, and then in the second half things get away a little bit. But, you know, I think the biggest thing you can take away, make some of those shots. The opportunities are there. You're going to be able to stick around in some games.
Eagles will travel to Pensacola State next Wednesday. It's a 6:30 Eastern tip. You'll be able to find coverage of that game on Pensacola State's website. We'll be back home here on TCCEagles.com next Saturday when the Eagles take on Gulf Coast State. That'll be a 3 o'clock tip. We're going to step aside here for a little bit, but stay put because at 5 o'clock on a new stream, still on TCCEagles.com, we'll see the Eagles men's team take on the Raiders from Northwest Florida State. For William Haynes, I'm Brett Rutherford, and this was another edition of TCC Women's Basketball live on TCCEagles.com.